Hey fourth graders, this is Miss Kay for this week's OWL lesson at home. Today we're going to be talking about the way that we talk to one another online. We're going to be focusing on the way that we talk to one another while playing games, but the ideas from this lesson apply to all online communication or communication using your technology. At the end of the lesson, you'll get a chance to show what you know by doing a reflection activity and to practice your skills by playing an online game. Here's our essential question for today. How can I help myself and others be positive and have fun while playing games online? Take a moment and think. What are all the different ways you communicate with your friends, face to face or online? Take about 15 seconds to think. Here are some of the ideas I came up with. Text or kids messenger, playing at a friend's house, Xbox Live or game chat, video chat or FaceTime, lunchtime, sports and clubs, Roblox chat, TikTok, Instagram, or social media, recess, and email. Highlighted are the types of communication that happen digitally or online. Let's do a little bit of vocabulary for today. Social interactions are the communications we have with other people. This might be things like talking or messaging with people to develop friendships or community. We all need some social interaction to keep our brains stimulated, keep us feeling loved and cared for, and to stay connected with others. Some people like a lot of social interaction, and some people only like a little. With school being shut down, your social interaction might have changed a lot lately. You're probably doing a lot more of your social interaction using digital media or talking to someone using technology. Digital media is the information that comes to us through the internet, often through a tablet, video game, smartphone, or a laptop or a Chromebook. Digital media comes in many shapes and sizes, and people prefer some digital media to others. Let's watch a video about social interactions online in the context of a video game. As you're watching, keep these two questions in mind. What social actions do you notice in the video? Overall, would you say that the social interactions were mostly fun and positive?
What am I supposed to do here? There has to be some way to get out. Where's Taya?
Hey Sabrina, I finally finished Miss Jones' homework. Have you figured out how we're supposed to get out of here? What if we knock down this wall?
I tried shooting an arrow at it, but it didn't work.
Maybe if we hit it together, that'll create a bigger impact.
That's a great idea. It's definitely worth a shot. Let's do it. Hey!
Watch where you're going there, noob. What's the password?
Password? What are you talking about? You're not supposed to hit other players. They're gonna ban you.
Says who? I can hit anyone I want to.
Oh no! Ha, I guess that's what happens when you're such a griefer. He was so annoying.
Yeah, let's keep going. We're getting close to the final castle. Let's go through the forest. That knight just sent me a message. I bet they know how to get to the final castle.
Hold up, Sabrina. Let's go the other way. Last time I was playing, I teamed up with a knight and I got a weird feeling. They wanted to know how old I was and where I lived.
Oh, did you tell them?
No way. You never know who's really playing this game. Better to play it safe and keep that kind of info private.
Look, we made it!
Welcome to the final castle. Most players don't make it this far. Enter at your own risk.
Okay, Sabrina, you ready for this?
I'm ready. We got this. Let's go!
We saw a couple different types of social interaction in this game. We saw some players chatting with one another, and we saw someone sending a message to Sabrina and Taya. Overall, things were pretty positive in the video between our two friends, but the strangers they met were less kind. Cody, who was trolling or griefing Sabrina and Taya, made the game harder and less fun for them. Another person, the Knight, might have been trying to trick them or get their personal information. Remember from our last information that we never share private information with someone online, especially if that person is a stranger. Take a second and think. Have you ever done these same kinds of things to someone else in a game? Even if it was a little bit fun for you, how do you think the person on the other end of the screen felt? If you've ever been trolled in a game, you probably know that it's frustrating, can make people angry and sad, and may make people want to quit the game and not play anymore. Is that fair? When we think about digital communication, it's important that we think about the power of words. So far, we've mostly talked about communicating in games, but it's important to think about the ways you communicate with others over text, email, and social media as well. Online communication can be a powerful tool to keep us connected. We gain knowledge, we have fun, and we have new experiences by playing online with our friends. But online communication does have its drawbacks. When we're communicating online, our words are open to interpretation. That means you never know how someone on the other end of a computer will interpret your words. You may say something as a joke, but to that person it felt really mean. Or you may be giving someone advice you think is helpful, but to that person it feels bossy. When we're communicating online, we don't always have the context of what someone is saying to be able to tell if it's a joke or someone being mean. We also lose the ability to use our empathy clues to figure out the meaning behind what someone else is saying. We can't always look at others' faces, eyes, and bodies for clues about the meaning behind their words, especially if we're communicating over text and not using video chat. Without hearing their tone of voice, we may interpret what they're saying differently than it was meant. This can make it harder to understand the message someone is trying to get across, and it might mean that we jump to conclusions and assume the worst about others or that they're trying to hurt us. Lastly, it's hard to be able to explain what you meant or fix a misinterpretation quickly, especially if the person you were talking to online is upset and doesn't want to talk to you anymore. What's important to remember is to pause and think before you say something to someone digitally through text, video, social media, or other online communication. Think hard about what you're going to say and make sure it's clear, kind, and won't confuse the other person. Paying attention to your punctuation and the emojis you use can make a big difference too. There's a big difference between "that's funny" with a period and a mad face, and "that's funny" with an exclamation point and a crying emoji. Never forget, there is another human being on the other end of that computer screen. If you wouldn't say it to their face in person, don't say it online. If you wouldn't say it in front of your grandma, don't say it online. When someone keeps being mean to someone else on purpose using digital technology, it can be considered cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is bullying that happens using online technology. Just like with in-person bullying, cyberbullying is something that happens more than once, is on purpose, and doesn't get better when you try to fix it on your own. Cyberbullying might be something that happens to you, or you might be a bystander that sees it happening to someone else in online chats and games. You can use the 3 R's we talked about during our bullying unit to recognize that you or someone else is being bullied online. Refuse to let it continue by sticking up for yourself or for the other person, and report it to an adult by telling a grown-up at home or using the report button in the gamer app you're using. Just because meanness is happening online doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. The same steps that help you stop bullying in person will help you stop bullying that happens online. Make sure you know how to use the report and block features on games or apps you use to help stop bullying. And remember that if the first person you report bullying to doesn't help you, keep reporting until someone helps you fix the problem. To show what you know, there is an activity in your Google Classroom titled Digital Communication. Think about what makes digital and in-person communication different and answer the reflection questions. Finally, you can practice by playing the Evolve game online to practice being a responsible bystander and stopping meanness and bullying that happens online. You can click on the link in your Google Classroom to go to the game. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.